are, you fucking billionaire son.
Can't you see I'm busy?
I don't give a damn if you're busy. I want my match with Chase at Revelations.
It's not gonna happen.
Why not?
I don't care.
You should.
Why?
Did you not watch that fucking match? Did you see who walked away? Who stood over Chase holding that title?
You lost.
He was dead in that ring.
Doesn't make a difference. I want the new. I want energy. Go to the end of the line.
Oh, you want new? You want energy? I'll give you new. I'll give you energy.
Okay, buddy.
You're gonna fucking regret that.
See you never.
Fuck you.
C4. Nice.
Well, a very, very tense interaction there between General Manager Greyson Bourne and King Krunch. Krunch wanting a rematch, Greyson Bourne denying him, saying, hey, you got your match at AfterShock, you lost. You're back of the line. Krunch did not take too kindly of that. And they've had a tense relationship ever since we were born. But here's Jackson Hendrix.
Before I went out here and I told every single person who would listen, I told every single person who supported me that I wanted to beat Ace Armbruster when it mattered. I wanted to beat Ace Armbruster where it hurt him the most. I wanted to beat Ace Armbruster where the whole world would see. And as AfterShock has come and gone, as you guys know, I failed to do what I told you that I was going to do. I failed. You know, when this whole thing started, man, I came back after 6 years. And whatever's been going on since Ace and I then, you know, he low blows me. I try to be the bigger person. He attacks me with a belt. I try to be the bigger person. I try to beat him where it matters. I try to beat him in a wrestling match and do the thing that I knew I could. And then he uses a weapon. And unfortunately, it was foolish of me to expect integrity from a guy who doesn't have it. Here's the thing. This whole time, man, my mom, my brother, my sister, Chase, my girlfriend, everybody, every single person has asked me, why don't you just put Ace down? Why are you going to sit there and let him call you an egomaniac? Why are you going to let him sit there and do all the things he's done and see all the things he said? And here's the fact of the matter is, because part of what he said was right at a point in time. Part of what he said, I deserved. Because there was a time where I was an egomaniac. There was a time where I was obsessed with vengeance, with revenge. And unfortunately, the very thing that Ace has called out is the very thing that has spared him. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've been so afraid of becoming the Jackson Hendrix that I hated. The guy that's out for blood. The guy that wants nothing but glory. The guy that's too worried about his own ego. Doesn't care about other people. Doesn't care about the people that support him. I've been so afraid of becoming that person. I was so afraid of becoming that person after the low blow. I was so afraid of becoming that person after the belt shot. But Ace, I'm not afraid of that person. I'm not afraid of becoming that person because I know in my heart of hearts that I'm not that person. These people sitting at home that support and like every single one of our videos know that I am not that person. So, you know what? Maybe it is time that I do listen to Chase, my mom, my brother, my sister. See, Ace, this whole time, man, I've let you walk over me because I've been too afraid of myself. But now I got you in the scope, and I'm coming for the fucking kill. And remember, Ace, when all this is said and done, you don't get to walk away. You don't get to go win the championship. When all this is said and done, you wanted to bring weapons into this match. You wanted to bring low blows, and let's do it. Let's give you everything you've wanted in this feud, this rivalry. Let's do it. At Revelations, me, you, Extreme Rules. And just remember, you're going to get what you asked for, but when all this is said and done, you're going to have to go home and tell to your family that you lose the fight you picked, prick.
The last time I spoke to you guys, I told you, in a world full of pretenders, they try to categorize themselves as heroes or villains. But see, the proof is in the pudding that they're all pretenders. Talent, untested, without scars. Disillusionment of power. Confidence until it's not validated and then it cracks like broken glass. The judge. He was laughed at and he remembers. And now he thinks he's unstoppable. An imaginary throne that he thinks will always permanently be his, because he's too much of a simpleton to realize that this world is more than gold championships and thrones. It's a world filled with lies. Nothing. Him. He believes that he's changed. I can see right through the guilt, and I see weakness. Transactional. Not cruel, not kind. But he only has one motive, one purpose. And see, in this whole world of WTW that's full of pretenders, there's one specific name on this board that needs to be exposed more than all. And that time will come. But now, tonight is not the right time. But unfortunately, a message will be sent. And a message will be sent tonight in the form of him. But when the time is ready and the dust is settled and the ashes are broken, the one name that's a fraud above all, I will make it known. So everybody, be on your tippy toes and remember, they all fall down.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Drake here, and I have the exclusive interview with Jetpack. Jetpack, you've talked in the past about how your baseball career didn't go the way you wanted it to. What do you make of your wrestling career so far?
So far I think it's went pretty well. In my short time here, I've had some ups, I've had some downs, but I've been working hard. I've been grinding my ass off. So I think it's been going pretty well. I've had my ass kicked a few times. I've kicked ass a few times. So it's been going decent.
Secondly, we can't mention your wrestling career without mentioning the guy that got you the opportunity to be here, Ace Armbruster. It's no secret that you guys had a falling out a couple weeks ago on Mayhem. What is your relationship like with Ace right now, and what was the reason for the falling out?
To put it simply, I can't stand by somebody who's so morally bankrupt. He doesn't play by the rules. He does things his own way. He takes things way too far. So, while he's moving like that, I just can't stand next to him.
You mentioned some ups and downs. AfterShock. You came up a little short against Juggernaut, failed to win the Next Gen Championship. One, how do you respond from that loss? And two, is winning the Next Gen Championship still a goal of yours?
Yeah, of course. Next Gen is definitely still a goal. My match against Juggernaut, I think I had an okay showing. I know he got the better of me there, but I did beat Rakesh pretty handily to get that match.
Oh, Aaron!
Yeah?
You did not beat me handedly. You did it!
Yeah, I did.
You barely beat me!
I had the 1, 2, 3 on you, bro.
All right. It's final. Next Mayhem, Jetpack versus Rakesh. Winner fights Juggernaut at Revelations for the Next Gen title.
Sounds good to me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a huge main event announced for next Mayhem, as Jetpack will take on RECKS in a number one contenders match for the Next Gen Championship, and the winner will meet Juggernaut at Revelations. But here we are into our main event tonight, WTF versus RELLIK. We saw that this match was going to be official for tonight earlier when RELLIK was giving his analytical breakdown of the entire roster, and he announced that he was going to be facing WTF. Greyson Bourne making this match official. WTF had a resilient showing at Reborn, didn't get as much offense as he wanted to, but he survived. I mean, we can tell this is a guy who's perseverant, is resilient. He was in the Next Gen Championship tournament against Juggernaut, where he ultimately was unable to squash the powerful, the Psychotic Clown, and nowly crowned Next Gen Champion. But RELLIK, we saw him at Reborn. He just laid havoc in the Gauntlet Eliminator and left. He said that he wasn't about the game of glory, that he wants to prove that this roster is a roster full of frauds. And because in his opinion it is, this will be the first singles competition we've seen RELLIK in since original WTW, and I'm not sure what to expect. He laid waste to everybody at the Gauntlet, but this, from bell to bell, is going to be the first we've seen of him in 6 years, and WTF is going to be the man to face him tonight. RELLIK clearly after somebody specific, and he said he was going to use WTF to send a message. Will he be successful in doing that? We're going to find out. RELLIK saying it's not the right time to reveal who he believes is the biggest fraud of all, but in time, he will. And let's get this underway. RELLIK versus WTF Mayhem 5 on the road to Revelations, the next big premium live event for WTW, and it's going to be WTF versus RELLIK. Kate Hawk doing his standard security pat-down check here, ensuring there's no foreign objects making their way into tonight's contest. RELLIK is for sure going to have to be checked. I mean, RELLIK, just such a warped view of reality is the best way I could describe it. I mean, this is a guy who sees things through a different lens than I would say I've seen any other human being. Whether I agree or disagree, RELLIK has the most unique lens that I've ever seen out of somebody. And WTF, RELLIK, we're underway, Mayhem 5. It doesn't get any better than this. RELLIK just stalking his opponent, staring him into the eye. These two men yet have to lock up. RELLIK tilting that collar elbow tie-up. RELLIK driving WTF into the turnbuckle, laying his elbow and letting off. RELLIK aggressive here early, as I anticipated that he would be. And this is going to be another match where I assume that WTF's resilience is going to be needed if he wants to come in with a win. RELLIK underneath, hammerlock, and an elbow right to the back of the head. Again, vicious. WTF rebounding off the ropes. RELLIK back suplex to WTF. RELLIK absolutely huge back suplex, excuse me. WTF kicking out at 2.
Like I said, there are no heroes. There are no villains. There's just pretenders.
Yeah, like we've heard it there. We've heard RELLIK echo that sentiment several times, and now he's driving his foot into the throat of WTF, and now choking WTF out. RELLIK doesn't just want to beat WTF. This is not a guy who's predicated on wins and losses. This is a guy who is predicated on suffering, and we can see that on front display here as he was choking WTF out. WTF squealing for air, and once again, RELLIK stalking him. Could be lining up for another back suplex, hitting it, and look at the way WTF's body just bouncing off the mat. RELLIK in full control early here on Mayhem.
I told you, it's a ticking time bomb for one particular individual.
And we are not known to who that individual is yet. But RELLIK said he's going to make it known when the time was right. And again, just driving his foot into the throat of WTF. WTF squealing for air. I mean, this is RELLIK is wanting to just suffocate WTF. He told whoever he's after that he was going to use WTF tonight to send a message, and so far he's doing that. Vertical suplex by RELLIK, roll into the cover, 1, 2, and a kick out by WTF. WTF surviving. You know, RELLIK has came in many different forms in here. WTW, and he is once again choking WTF out. WTF squealing for air. WTF coughing, gasping for air. This is almost hard to watch as RELLIK with the foot through the throat, the choking. I mean, WTF, this isn't about a wrestling match for RELLIK. This isn't about wins.
Just a loser in a hockey mask who can't win.
You hear it here. Relic not only want to make his opponents suffer, but wants to make them emotionally suffer with the things he says. He wants to make his way into his opponents. He's a firm believer in emotional warfare, and he's dropping those elbows on WTF. WTF almost completely unresponsive to the damage. You got to think that the suffocation of the air has played a huge part in this. Relic once again stalking WTF, and once again laying the foot on WTF. WTF kicking, trying to grasp for air, trying to do anything he can, but the only thing he can do so far is suffer.
No. Mercy. Mercy. That's your weakness, huh? Heroism. But it's all fake. And we all know. And there's only a matter of time before you get exposed.
Relic again wanting to expose somebody on the WTW roster. He had a breakdown of everybody on the board earlier, gave his rundown, but he said there was one among all that needed to be exposed, and I assume, Relic, we will figure that out here in the future, but for the now, Relic once again stalking WTF. Missile dropkick, some of that old patented Relic offense that we saw in the past.
This unlike nobody you'll have ever faced before. I can assure you of that.
Relic saying he can assure you of that. Take his eye off the ball. WTF able to counter. Relic may be too focused on the man he wants to send a message to and not in this match. And it's WTF is finding an opening. DDT by WTF. Relic again, maybe too focused on the person that he's clearly obsessing over, and WTF able to find an opening there, cover in a 1 count, but WTF able to hit that STO into the corner, following it up with that DDT, the first bit of offense in life we've seen from WTF tonight. WTF is going to have to keep following up. Suplex of his own. Big suplex by WTF. Again, this is a guy whose defense is second to none, resilience is second to none, but he just can't seem to get the offense going in a match. And that's the big problem. But he's found an opening, and he's going to have to keep his foot on the gas if he wants to beat Relic tonight to get his first win in WTW. WTF laying down those stomps on Relic. He's finding that opening, and he's just going right through it. WTF knows that he might need a win here, especially coming up short against Juggernaut in the Next Gen Championship Tournament. And what a win this would be. Relic trying to send a message if WTF could win this. Relic countering, Fireman's Carry, Flapjack. Again, that old patented offense from Relic. This new warp view of Relic might be different, but Relic showcasing some of that old offense. Cover 1, 2, and another kick out by WTF. WTF found the opening, was lining up for that Scorpion Death Drop. Relic was able to counter.
Fight than that coward does.
He said he has more fight than that coward does. Relic once again just laying the foot on the throat of WTF. WTF gasping for air. Relic, the slow pace of Relic. He wants to make his opponents suffer. Relic wants to dictate the pace of this match. He wants to make his opponents suffer. This isn't about performing some wrestling showcase, putting on a great performance. He wants to damage his opponents, and a DDT drilling WTF's head firmly into the mat. Roll over, cover, 1, 2, and once again, WTF surviving.
2.
And I give WTF a lot of credit. I mean, this guy's been suffocating for air since the opening of this match. He was able to find a little bit of offense, but Relic countered.
My problem with this person is they're the biggest pretender of all in a world full of pretenders. He is the biggest one of them all. And I'm gonna expose you.
Again,
It's
not
like I'm
knowing.
exposing him.
Relic exposing WTF tonight. I think he's using this match to get into the head of whoever it is that he is after. Relic again, once again, getting WTF up to his feet here. Neckbreaker, drilling WTF square into the mat. Relic back in firm control after the little bit of offense by WTF. And look at the cover. Disgusting by Relic. Disgusting. 2 count, HAVOC ensures, but WTF again able to survive. Relic just stalking his opponents. It isn't just physical warfare in here, it's emotional warfare, and you can tell.
He's even getting a little bit of mercy. You will die by my hand.
If this is mercy, I hate to see what Relic is doing when he's not giving mercy. Throwing him up, pump handle, slam, and look at the way WTF's body bounced off that mat, and that very well could do it. Cover 1, 2, and once again, the resilient WTF finding a way to kick out there. WTF staying alive. Relic
You're not
stalking.
gonna be able to fight if there's no life left.
Relic trying to just choke the life out of WTF. He's got it. With those arms or those hands wrapped around WTF's throat. WTF fighting off, trying to fight him off and able to push off Relic. But again, you hear the gasping for air for WTF. This has been one of the tougher matches for me to watch.
I will be like nobody you've ever encountered before. This, you will die. Die!
Relic, again, choking the life out of WTF. And I've seen some disgusting things. I've seen, like Ace, the weapon at AfterShock, or King Krunch wearing down the legs of Chase Chambers and just trying to exploit an injury. But this is gross. Mind Warp by Relic is what I'm told that move is called, a Mind Warp. And will that put him away after that big maneuver from Relic, the same moves that he hit on some of the competition at Reborn, and picking it up, doing it a second time. And you got to think, this is just to send a message. And this...
That's not a strong enough message. Look at what you're making me do.
Not a lot of accountability for Relic. Relic is saying that whoever he's after is making him do this, but this is something he's doing himself, and this is disgusting. And once again, just to send a message, a third Mind Warp as the lifeless WTF hits the mat. Cover, 1, 2, 3. WTF survived. Relic ultimately getting the victory here.
If that wasn't enough of a message, maybe this will be you. No matter how hard you try, will never escape the real you or the ghosts of your past.
Kate Hawk checking on WTF there as WTF is lifeless. Relic saying that this guy will never be able to escape the ghost from his past. And what was that maneuver? Was that a message into itself? I don't know if I'm seeing things correctly. I don't even know if I want to put that out into the universe. But he just hit that move. Revelations, the next premium live event. We do know that Jackson Hendrix will take on Ace Armbruster in Extreme Rules. What will happen with Jetpack versus RECKS or Chase Chambers, the WTW champion? Find out on the next Mayhem.